The Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs has officially validated the Gambia's first ever national land policy during a landmark event held on Tuesday at the Sadauda Karawajara Conference Center in Bijilo. The policy, which was finalized in February 2025, underwent extensive consultations with both local and international stakeholders to ensure broad participation and inclusivity. Feedback from these engagements was carefully reviewed and incorporated into the final document, which received national validation at the just concluded workshop. The new land policy is a significant step toward addressing persistent land tenure challenges, strengthening land governance, and promoting equitable access to land for all Gambians. Supported by the West Africa Coastal Areas Management Program, the policy emphasizes the importance of certificates of customary ownership and the mandatory application of free prior and informed consent for converting customary land to state ownership. In addition, the policy seeks to tackle systematic issues such as land dispossession and allied capture by introducing transparency measures, including public disclosure of land transactions and independent impact assessment for large-scale investments. Honorable Ahmad Ba, Minister of Lands, presided over the validation ceremony and emphasized the government's commitment to sustainable and equitable land reforms.
Land has become an important issue, and this country needs to take the bull by full responsibility as to how we manage and use land in the Gambia. If we don't do it, what happened to other countries may happen to us. And may God forbid that. Land is a commodity that never expands. One use is gone. Therefore, the usage of land matters very much. The planning, the strategic planning, how we use land matter to our country and our people for that matter, for their very existence and survival. Secondly, the Gambia is one of the most densely populated countries in Africa, number 5. And we've realized in history, most of these countries have gone into conflict, war, with the exception of Gambia and maybe Mauritius, if I can recount. We thank God that we came the President Barrow's government came at the right time to try to address the issue of land. We've also realized that over 70–80% of all the court cases in the Gambia, in the Gambian courts, are all on land matters and land issues. We've also realized that most of the conflict that we are facing right now in the country internally are on land issues. So land is an issue that we have to tackle, we have to handle head on as a government and as a country and as a nation. It is important that we realize that time has come for us to say, yes, we got to do it. And that's why we are today.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Lands, Mamadou Tal, described the policy as a significant milestone in Gambia's journey towards sustainable development.
I stand before you today to introduce the first ever national land policy of the Gambia. This historic milestone marks a significant step forward in our journey towards sustainable development, equitable and land governance, and prosperity for all citizens. Our land is our foundation, an essential resource that sustains our communities, drives economic growth, and preserves our cultural heritage. Recognizing its importance, this policy has been crafted through inclusive consultations, reflecting our collective commitment to responsible stewardship, transparency, and fairness.
Project Coordinator at work, Dr. Mohamed Sanyang, praised the policy's potential to build a more resilient Gambia, adding that it will help safeguard the country's coastal and land resources.
For the first time in our history, the Gambia now has a unified, forward-looking framework to land use, ownership, management, and stewardship. One that reflects our national values, our socio-economic realities, and our shared aspirations for the future. This policy has not emerged in isolation, as mentioned by DPS. It is the result of months of inclusive dialogue, research, and collaboration across sectors, rural and urban, public and private, traditional and modern. It reflects the voices of women and men, youth and elders, landowners and land users, all contributing to a collective vision of responsible and equitable land governance.
An international consultant involved in the development of the policy described it as one of the most effective and well-executed processes he has participated in across the continent.
I can say that this is one of the best processes that I've observed within the continent, and the Gambians should be very proud of themselves. And I am also, thanks for that, and I'm also very proud to have been part of this. So with that said, congratulations to everyone who's here, but as we celebrate, let's remember there's still a process ahead. This is only the validation. It's important to also thank the World Bank. I think they've done a terrific job by supporting the technical aspect, the financial aspect, as well as also, keeping away and allowing the Gambia to do the work.
A social land administration specialist from the World Bank also lauded the initiative, noting that it could mark the beginning of a meaningful land sector reform in the Gambia.
The change, the transformation of the sector starts with a very good land policy, So it's really a privilege to be here, because this could become the beginning of a journey to help you reform your land sector. And it's very, very important, and we want to commend the government for that, to ensure that this document, the National Land Policy, reflects the views of the different segments of the society.
The National Land Policy, now validated, represents a homegrown, inclusive policy framework and is expected to be submitted to the Cabinet for formal approval in the coming weeks. Reporting for Kerfatu, I am Buba Gajigo.